Hi guys, welcome to this session in Power BI. In this module, I want to have a look at AI visuals. So I'm on the Insert tab at the top there, Home and then Insert, and you have this group that says AI visuals. So I want to have a look at some of the features you've got in here, and I'm going to do it on this dashboard that I've already got, or this report should I say, and I'm going to start off with this one, Q&A. Click on that, gives me a little visual there. I can just pull this over here a little bit to make it bigger. Just make this bigger. So these are preset questions that you can generate a visual from by selecting one of these options. If I open them all up so you can see them, you can actually type your own question in here. So if I go total revenue, for example, it gives me the total revenue, which is great. If I close that off and press enter on that, it will come back with the questions. I can drop that open again. Sort training by topic. Click on that. It lists all the training by topic. Now, if I want to save this as a visual, you can turn it into one by clicking this little button. If I do that, this is now a visual itself like these, and it's no longer interactive as a Q&A. So if I delete that, don't want that, and get the Q&A one again. Make it a little bit bigger. Show all. If I type in total revenue by company, see what happens on that one. That's given me a visual with all the companies and the total revenue, and I can convert that into a visual if I want. So it's just using AI to quickly create visuals. Now if I just delete that one off, come back to this little cog, if you click on that, that'll go into settings, and you can add synonyms if you want, so that's words that have a similar meaning. This one is review questions, so as you type more and more questions in, you can review what people have been typing in, and then AI will get more and more efficient. If I come off this, I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to look at the next one, key influencers. Click on that one, then I'm going to move it over here, make it a bit bigger. Now in this one, if I tick topic, for example, and then city, it's going to show me leads. If I click on this, it gives me some analysis there. So it's saying this topic is more likely to be access, which is what I've got filtered, when the city is leads. If I change that to Excel, hasn't got any data. If I go to Word, then I get that one. Click on that and it opens up and gives me a bit of a report there. You've got options here. If I come down and do company as well, you can see if it gives you a bit more analysis there. The companies are listed across the cities listed across the top. Go back up to the top and pick on access, and then click on this, showing you the details there. So it's just using AI to create a visual. If you want that to be the case, you can do, but I'm going to get rid of this one now and do the next one. So the next one, if I go back to insert, is decomposition tree. Click on that one, bring this visual into focus, open it up a little bit. So what you've got here is, if I click on a company and revenue, it's giving me a list of sum of revenue. When I click on the plus, it allows me to change the high or low for company. If I click on the company, it lists all the companies, and then when you click on one of these, you can add extra elements. If I go to topic, tick topic, I'll get a plus, and then if I click on the plus and then topic, it will open it up again, and you can see what comes out on the other side of that. So you're basically creating this is what this is. It's a tree. It gives you the information there. Look, it's just basically highlighting that information there. If I take that off, so remove that, and I can pick on this one. I'll go topic again, and it's highlighting those two topics like so. Now I've clicked on that one and it's jumped up. If I click on this one, it's just going to give me that. So whichever one you click on, it gives you the tree branch coming out of that one. So that is that one. I'll get rid of that. And then the last one is narrative. If I click on that, I'm going to ask AI to give me a bit of analysis of how this is all going on. So I'll bring that over here, make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to go custom, and it'll give me some analysis straight away. So it's giving you the figures there, and it's telling you Snatch IT has the highest sum of revenue, which is 470% higher than Watch It, which has the lowest revenue of blah blah, and so on. Snatch IT has 9.39% of the total revenue, etc., etc. So this is building that up. Now you've got this little edit tool at the top here, like a little mini toolbar where you can change the left, right, center alignment of that if you want. I'm going to leave it left. You've also got, if you click on there, you've got the option to spotlight it, which means everything else is faded out except this. I'll bring that back again, take that spotlight off. Now if you click on any of these figures, so if I click on the percentage, it's going to open up this window and allow you to change that if you don't want it to be a percent, or if you don't want it to be 2 decimal places. I'll put it back to 0 and then save that, and then it's just saying 9%. That's totally up to you if you want to change that, but that's the feature that's available. Now if I click off that one, so I've got rid of all of those. So that's all I want to talk about in this little video, how you can use these AI visuals to quickly get a visual on the screen without you having to work out what to do and all this sort of stuff over here that you would normally do yourself, what I did for these. So hopefully this little video is of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.